Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. We've got a few interesting developments here on the chart that I would like to take you through. And it is really getting interesting at the moment. I think we are really at a key decision moment here. So we will get to that in a minute. First of all, let's zoom out, maybe remind everyone where we come from, because we get in every video new viewers as well. So we analyze the chart based on the Elliott Wave method, and we're always looking for impulsive moves, reliable charts. There are many crypto charts which are just not showing any reliability. I mean, look at VeChain. Not that it's a bad chart, but it's just at the moment nothing that I would personally trade. Or even ADA, or even Solana. Not that they are bad coins or anything, just the chart is not so reliable, especially short term, which we're focusing on recently a lot because we're just sort of in sideways movement, broadly speaking. So we're looking for charts that create ideal patterns to trade, and we're talking here about the Elliott Wave patterns. We talk about impulses, like here Ethereum. We can make an assumption that we are moving higher in a 5-wave move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That this is complete. Basically an impulse, which means that the low was in here at 880, at least that is the current assumption, and that in the next move, after such an impulse, you would look for a 3-wave correction into the other, basically into the opposite direction, which corrects the impulse. So we had that here, wave A, wave B, wave C. So, and then from here we start again with a 5-wave impulse to the upside. So this is exactly why we're looking at these areas, these reversal areas, so closely, because they provide trade setups. Now, bear in mind, I'm never going to tell you what to do, how you trade yourself. That's up to you, but I can always share how I would do it and what I'm doing. And here, Ethereum is one of the more reliable charts. Absolutely. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in trading, in financial markets. Even the best TA will not give you guarantees. It's just not there. I would even say the better the TA, the clearer is that there is no certainty, because there is no certainty. So, you just need to understand that. Now, we are now, in my opinion, in this pattern. So we've done the wave 1, which is a 5-wave move up, an impulse, and we've done the wave 2, or are still in the process of doing it, but we're pretty close to the support area. So this area between 1130 and 1280 is the area where I would expect Ethereum to bottom. It could, in a more extreme case, come down to $1,000. That is the 78.6% fib level from the low to the high. Broadly speaking, 1,000. I think it's 1,015 or something. Now, already the 1130 level is relevant because it is the 78.6% level. Now, the 78.6% fib level is already, if you go below this, it is a stronger than ideal retracement for wave 2. So here we are losing already a little bit of reliability, but the 88.7% fib level is really let's say the killer. If you go below that level, then it is very unlikely that we are still going to push higher. Okay, so just to understand that. So the $1,000 level is for me something like an invalidation point. Okay, let's zoom in here. So what we would expect is the price anyway here, ideally between 1280 and 1130 to turn around. Now, as you can see, we reached my target area 3 times already. We've been in this area now for 2 or 3 weeks, right? So this is an accumulation area for me. Okay, now I still think in the short term we will see one more low. Okay, the pattern would just look better with one more low. Ideally, holding the 1130 level, in the worst case, holding the $1,000 level. There are different ways how this can now play out. Now, let's first talk about what I still think is very likely. It is this WXY pattern. Now, we talked about the possibility, first of all, in the previous video, we talked about the possibility of this gray triangle. So the gray count is what we're talking about now, A, B, C, D, E, where you would expect to break to the downside afterwards. I've got a little bit of a problem with this now, with this latest push to the upside. We need to see now. I mean, this is still possible, triangle, and then a breakout to the downside. This could be a 1-2 setup at the moment to the downside already, because if you have A, B, C, D, E complete, you would now come down in an impulse, basically would say the wave 4 is finished here, and we're now coming down in wave 5, which again consists of 5 waves, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Absolutely possible. However, we will not get a confirmation for this until we get below the wave D low, which is at 1265. So this is a possibility. Yeah. On the flip side, we can say that there is a lot of pressure to the upside at the moment. Yeah, you see this engulfing green candle. So this is actually quite a nice reversal pattern here. So flip side, we can say that we can push absolutely higher, and that would not be the triangle pattern. It is this WXY pattern that we talked about before, where we say we have a corrective wave, WXY, and the Y wave can push higher. If we look at this, we can say that we have certainly the potential to go to at least 1440. That's the 1-to-1 ratio, or even the 1550 level. That is the wave Y 1.618 extension. Yeah, so there is certainly the potential to push higher, and the triangle will get invalidated if we push above 1373. Now, I think this is always, an interesting trade setup. I communicated that to the Telegram signals group. Now again, there's never guarantee it works out, but if we look at this from an Elliott Wave point of view, in this scenario, we have a chance to push higher in a wave Y, okay? And I would personally put a stop loss below the 1316 level, below the intraday low, with a view to move higher from here. It is not only that, it is also the other pattern, which is the bullish breakout possibility, which we cannot neglect. So let's say in the triangle pattern, we would expect the price to come down straight away. Let's say we enter a long trade here to that 1450, maybe 1550 level as target. If we enter a long trade here, and the triangle is playing out, we're breaking down, yeah, we get stopped out. Not a big deal, happens all the time in trading. Yeah, as long as you manage your risk properly and position size, that's fine. It happens all the time. Then we would get stopped out just below here, the 1316 level, but it's not far away. It's a very tight stop loss anyway. But in the WXY, we have certainly a nice potential to move higher. And if we look at the current price, we're like 2.5% away from the loss, from stop loss, which doesn't mean you lose 2% of your portfolio, 2.5. It means, depending on your position size, you lose far less if you don't over, put your position not too high. And if we push to 1450, yeah, that would be my first target for that actually. You had a 7% profit, and 1550, which is the 1.618 extension, 15%. Now, there is also the other scenario where we talked about that a bottom could already be in, even though it's not highly reliable, but a bottom could certainly be in, and it seems like a lot of the altcoins are currently pushing up. Yeah. The point is that we reached obviously the target area 3 times, so this is always the area where there is a chance to move up. Now, if we are in a breakout pattern, we would be looking like something like that: a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, 4, 5. Yeah. In the wave 3, we could also, without a problem, let's measure that, reach the 1480 level, the 1.618 extension. So also here, yeah, interesting. And this would also push higher. Now, again, no guarantee this is going to play out as 5 waves, but you still have the potential you get only 3 waves and it will fail here. So looking at that as a possible intraday or scalp trade, there is a chance obviously to take profits around 1450, 1480, 1500 sort of, yeah. We need to understand, until we get 5 waves, there is no confirmed bottom in place. But there is still a good potential that at least here, this wave, which could then be the wave Y, plays out. Or you get the 5 waves, which is the other possibility. So for me, even in this scenario, it would be quite an interesting, a possible long opportunity, yeah, which doesn't mean you have to do it. It's up to you. I'm just telling you some ideas that I have about this chart, and I think we could be a bit surprised and actually push higher, yeah, as there seems to be a bit of pressure to the upside at the moment across different assets and the crypto market as well. So I still primarily expect a lower low. Yeah, there is no evidence that we get 5 waves, but I would, I'm speculating a little bit that we actually push a bit higher and then come down. Yeah, that we could see this WXY play out, and then come down. Or even, there is even a chance that this plays out as 5 waves, and if not, you'll probably fail here at the third one, but even then you probably get a bit more upside. So depending on which scenario you're in, and really only if we have really seen the triangle, only then we are really coming down, which is possible, and then the stop loss would get activated, which to be honest is part of the game anyway. So it's just something interesting. So I think we have a chance to push higher here as long as we stay above 13.16. Okay. But eventually, I'm at the moment, until I see those 5 waves eventually as complete, my view is that we will see one more lower low here. Yeah. Which doesn't mean I'm necessarily here shorting. Absolutely not. There is a chance to short term go up and then come down here. But yeah, my strategy I explained in detail in previous videos. Talked about that I already bought at 12.50. For the larger rally, which should be coming to the upside, either now or after one more low. And if we see that one additional low, I'm going to buy more. So there's you need to distinguish the sort of larger swing trade from a short intraday, maybe scalp trade, which I'm not going to do, to be honest. But it's just an interesting opportunity I saw here on the chart. Especially as it seems, that a lot of coins are currently trying to push higher here, and generally the sentiment seems to be shifting across the markets at the moment a little bit. And as an analyst or as a trader, you always need to be very sensitive to these things, knowing when to possibly enter a trade while managing your risk properly. For example, by managing your position size or by managing your stop loss properly. Okay. So yeah, this is certainly interesting, and if we really get a breakout, then I think we will see eventually here the wave 3 play out as in terms of getting to $3,000. Now, this would only be the third wave. So remember, we have a wave 1 here, we have a wave 2 here, and the third wave would land somewhere here around 3,000. Then you come down in a fourth and move up in a fifth. Yeah, so there is really good potential in this entire chart. And generally, irrespective of if, short term we go up and then come down, or we go up straight away, the view is that we are pushing higher from this region as long as we are holding above $1,000. Yeah, so this for me is again the invalidation point. If we drop below that, then I think we have a really good chance to break below 880, which was the June low, and then come down to 650. Yeah, and that's my update about Ethereum. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.